I had always known my cousin, Vicky, to be a fun-loving, vivacious guy with dreams of conquering the world and a bright twinkle in his eyes. He truly had the zest for life. But on the 21st of October, on the eve of his 21st birthday, he polished for the final time his most prized possession, a black Harley Davidson, planned a party, invited all of his closest friends, his farewell to the world. At 11:45 p.m. that night, Vicky wrote his final goodbye and took his life. This is suicide, an epidemic which has plagued young people, claiming over 800,000 lives each year. That's almost one death every 40 seconds. This constitutes the reality for the majority of young people today, and it sets the precedent for the phenomenon that plagues our generation, the black hole of the youthful mind. Hi, my name is Nina, and I want to take you on a journey into the deep, dark mind of today's youth, which draws them from a seemingly flourishing life into a downward spiral of destruction and death. What is it about modern life that causes young people in particular to fall into the trap of depression? Is it the fact that we're so wrapped up in our image? Or that we're obsessed with this unattainable idea of being perfect? Let me take you through a few pertinent aspects. In this brave, new world of ever-evolving technology, we are supposed to be more connected than ever, which indeed, on the surface level, we might be. But the pervasive social climate that exists across our real-life society and its virtual counterpart is intrinsically critical and destructive in its nature. Of sorts, a black hole. Let's consider the feeling of inadequacy. A major component of our life online is, of course, social media. And it's something that, by its very design, perpetuates this damaging culture of comparison. My personal timeline is consumed by these artificial, meticulously crafted photographs of celebrities and supermodels. And although I might be aware of this, I still find myself, even subconsciously, making absurd and unwarranted comparisons, critiquing my appearance and comparing my life to this falsified image. I don't think we as a society realize how truly detrimental this is. Social media sets unrealistic standards that not only force us to hyperanalyze our real lives, but our online presences too. We have reached a point at which our innate self-value is driven exclusively by instant gratification and external validation. It seems as if we're on an endless chase for more likes, clicks, and shares. And so we perpetuate these standards, indulging in obsessive behavior, incessantly checking our phones, and altering our appearance to have airbrushed skin and perfect teeth. This has a domino effect that extends over all of society, but particularly young, impressionable minds, as we come to mirror the caliber of beauty we see online and tailor ourselves to fit these arbitrary requirements for an Instagram photo. This is precisely why inadequacy plagues the mind of today's generation and will continue to do so until we are able to detach our self-worth from the burden of constant comparison. As American writer Max Ehrman famously said, "If you compare yourselves with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself." Let's discuss the facet of despair. In difficult circumstances and trauma, or amidst the turbulence of life, our mind enters a state of cognitive constriction, a sort of tunnel vision where we're so entwined in the present that we begin to lose foresight of the future and in the process lose ourselves. Small failures devolve into determinants of our self-worth and our ability to overcome problems. altering our perspective so that we're hyper-focused on the magnitude of our circumstances rather than the possibility of overcoming them. Self-doubt silences the rational mind. We begin to underestimate and neglect the solace of our compassionate loved ones and find it difficult to seek help in fear of judgment. But emotional tunnel vision is hardly an attempt to evade the outside world. It is rather a self-isolating prison of the mind that gradually separates an ambitious teenager from their values and aspirations. This phenomenon is what makes teen suicides especially tragic. Their internalized turmoil and self-doubt fabricates a version of reality in which there is no discernible alternative to suicide. Let's talk about the weight of expectations. Today's societal pressure forces us to prioritize the pursuit of success over the pursuit of happiness itself. Throughout my journey in high school, I have personally experienced the rush and stress of adhering to countless deadlines. The pressure to achieve that coveted A+ can often become so crushing that I find myself trading working hours for sleep and fighting to maintain my mental health to meet other people's expectations. What's more is this overwhelming external pressure from parents and teachers to achieve academic success. Albeit altruistic and well-intentioned, this instigates a fear of failure within young people, which forces them to consistently prioritize their work over their well-being. As young people are dangerously forced to measure the degree of their achievements by merit of arbitrary numbers and letters, they increase the fragility of their mental state and inherently threaten their self-worth, pushing them towards isolation. What I find most fascinating about society today is this dichotomy that exists amidst our ever-evolving modern world. We are veritably experiencing what no single generation has experienced before. Our society has stigmatized the very conversation of mental health. We are given the notion that we are weak to express emotions, while remaining steadfast and suppressed is considered more prudent. Because of this, young people are deprived of an outlet to express themselves or to seek help earnestly. In recent years, the rate of suicides have reached an all-time high. In fact, in the duration of this speech, 14 people around the world have killed themselves. I'd like to now recite an excerpt of the poem Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it's clear to you, no doubt, the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy. Suicide is not a call for help. It is the result of a call for help unanswered. In today's world, there's millions of eyes, yet no one's watching. There's millions of ears, yet no one's listening. And there's millions of voices, yet no one speaking up. Let us be the voice of change, and let not one more life be snatched away by the evil claws of suicide. Thank you.